boiling. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cassie and I am a mum to my 5-month-old little boy Oaklee. Today's video will be my birth story to share with you all, which I'm very excited to actually relive because I was really lucky and had quite a good birth. So that's today's video. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I've linked them down below for you all to have a little look. And if you like my videos, then please remember to like and subscribe to my channel because I would absolutely love to have you on here. So let's get on with today's video. So firstly, I had a great pregnancy. I absolutely loved being pregnant. I kept quite active. I stayed healthy throughout my pregnancy. I didn't really use it as an excuse to overindulge with food or just sit and do nothing all day. I still kept it working until 38 weeks pregnant. So I only had 2 weeks of maternity leave before Oaklee decided to come along. We're saying that it was nearly 3 weeks because he was late, little bugger. So I was 4 days late and I had an appointment with the midwife. And I went in and I had to go up to the hospital because they were worried about the size of him. So I had to go for a growth scan. But he was absolutely fine. He was just sitting really funny. So whilst I was up there, I said, well, my midwife couldn't give me my sweep. So would it be at all possible to have a sweep? Of course, she was absolutely fine with that. And she did turn around to me and said, I'll be seeing you tonight. So I was like, oh, okay then, whatever. But she was really hard. And I was like, oh my goodness grief. Like, I've never had a sweep before. I've never had a baby before. This is my first baby. So I didn't really know what a sweep did for you, if I'm totally honest with you. So when she did it, I was like, oh my goodness grief. Like, this is absolutely torture. But anyway, I'm glad she did it. So I had that about 1 o'clock, I think. And after then, I went to my mum's house about 3:30. And she said, right, you've had a sweep, we're 4 days late, let's go for a really long brisk walk. So she lives really close to somewhere called Central Park, so it's really lovely. So we had a little walk around there, but every now and again I was getting these niggling pains, and it wasn't sore, it made me stop walking. And I was like, oh God, Mum, my back's giving me out. She said, you're having contractions. I was like, oh, stupid. She only did my sweep 2 hours ago, and I don't think that would have done anything, if I'm honest with you, Mum. No, you're having contractions. And I think I was in more of denial, really, because Dan went to work at 3 o'clock and he was working till midnight. So I was like, well, I can't because he's working. But he did say, if any problem, just give me a ring. So I got back to my mum's house about 5 o'clock. And I don't know about you guys, but I just wanted my own home and I just wanted to be home. But my mum was cooking me a roast dinner, so I ate my roast dinner. I said to my mum, look, I just want to go home. I just want to put my feet up. Like, I don't really know what I was thinking. I just wanted to be home. And so she said, well, I don't really want you to go home on your own. So I rang Dan and I said, look, I want to go home. Mum won't let me go home unless you're home. How many times can I say home in one sentence? He came home, and by the time he did, the pains went. And I was like, well, I don't think that was it. I think that must have just been Braxton Hicks, but they were coming every 20 minutes. And out of the blue, I was bouncing on my paw and I said, Dan, they're gone. Like, I don't know what's going on. So he said, right, just keep bouncing on your ball. We'll put a couple programmes on the telly. Like, try not think about it too much. And it got to like 10 o'clock, 10:30. I said, Dan, there's nothing going on. So for nearly 2.5 hours, I had absolutely nothing. So from 3 till about 8, I was getting pains every 20 minutes to half an hour. And then as soon as he got home, it just completely stopped. And I was like, I was really upset. So he said, right, I'll go up and run a bath. And this is at like 11:15 at night now. And I said, I ain't going in the bloody bath now, Dan. I just want to go to bed. And I was so deflated. I was tired. It had been a really long day. I was overdue. I was just getting so ratty. And he said, just go in the bath and just relax. And his mum swears blind that she gave birth to her daughter because she had a really strong coffee in it. I drank the coffee, and about 11:10, oh my God, I was climbing the walls. They came 5 minutes, one after another, and Dan come downstairs and I was up in the bath and I was like, Dan, they've come back. And so he started to time them. And he said, do you want me to come and sit in with you? I said, no, just go downstairs and I'll shout down to you. Come upstairs and went, Cassie, they're every 6 minutes. And I was like, well, I don't understand how they can go from nothing to bang, there you go, have your contractions. So anyway, it got to about 1 o'clock and I just kept topping up the bath with hot water because I thought, right, I just need to stay here as long as I possibly can. So it got to about 1 o'clock and I said, right, I'm going to ring the hospital and just say, look, I'm in labour, they're coming every 6 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. How long do you think it should be until I decide to come up? So they just turned around and said, look, just stay at home for as long as you possibly can until it gets like unbearable. If your waters go, give us a ring back. So I was like, right, okay. So as I was on the phone to her, I was having a contraction, but I giggled at the end and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I've just had a contraction. And I started giggling. So I at the time, I was like, oh my God, this is excruciating pain. But now I look back and that was nothing. I mean, if I'm giggling in between my contractions, there's something wrong, isn't there? But at the time, God, I was climbing the walls. So got off the phone to her and I said to Dan, I'm going to go in the bath again. I need to go in the bath. And I was walking around my porch and landing and downstairs and through my bedroom and it just wasn't doing anything. I just needed to lean on something and sway. So I was swaying upstairs up here and Dan said, do you want me to run another bath? So I said, yeah, yes please. As soon as I got in, I was in there no more than 20 minutes because I just couldn't. I was on all fours. It's like I was not possessed because I sort of got my head in the game and I was like, this is going to happen. There's no point moaning, there's no point screaming, there's no point doing anything because this is totally out of my control. Anyway, got out of the bath, went downstairs to Dan and cut a long story short, he was sat there in his pyjamas. He was sat watching Family Guy and all he was doing was timing my contractions. But then I look back and I think, he didn't really do anything at all, I'm saying that, but I was a nightmare because every time he did try and rub my back or give me a cuddle, I was like, oh, I can't, just get off, please just get off, I physically can't do this. So I didn't want to be touched, didn't want to be cuddled, and I was bent over my sofa and I said to Dan, I need to go, like this is about 2 o'clock in the morning, I need to go up to the hospital. I went up there and she examined me and she said, I'm really sorry, you're going to have to go home. You're only 3 centimetres. Well, I absolutely broke my heart. I was like, you are absolutely joking. Like, it can't get much worse than this, can it? So, she gave me some morphine and come home. I had 4 contractions on the way home. We live literally no more than 6 minutes away. So they were coming like every 3 minutes now. So she still sent me home, which I thought was really surprising because you have to be 4 centimetres till you get to stay in. So I thought just for the sake of 1 centimetre, it saved me coming. But anyway, they have to do their job. And I at the time, it was the worst thing they could have possibly said to me. But now I totally get it. So come home. And the midwife in the hospital turned around and said, look, go home and rest. It's going to be a really, really long night for you. So we come home. The next thing I know, I'm in the bathroom. The morphine didn't agree with me. So every time in between my contractions, I was throwing up. So I had to stand in the bathroom and I was swaying against my sink and being sick in between them. So I've got hair in my mouth. Oh, God. So anyway, I'm in the bathroom and I'm like, where is Dan? Where is Dan? Like, I'm having contractions every 2 to 3 minutes. And I'm calling him and I come into the bedroom and he is soundo. He went to sleep. I come in and I said, what are you doing to sleep? He went, well, the midwife said to rest. I went, me, not you. But he had some sleep. But this was about 4 o'clock now. So I was in the bathroom for a good 2 hours on my own, and to be honest, that was probably the best thing that I could have done, because every time he tried giving me a kiss or a cuddle or rub my back or try and soothe me in any sort of way, I was very much like, oh, I just need to be on my own. I just got my head in the game and I processed it all on my own, and as much as he was trying to help, it was irritating me, and it was just like, oh, I can't, just leave me be, let me get on with it and I'm okay. So anyway, it got to about 5 o'clock and I was absolutely knackered. So I would say from 3 till 8 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 8, it was just period pains. It was just like, oh, my back, it's that really uncomfortable sort of, oh, it's a bit achy. And then from 8 to near on 11 o'clock, nothing, absolutely nothing. And then from 11 till 4 o'clock now, 5 o'clock, 11 till 5, it was just every 5 minutes, and it was just getting closer and closer together, to the point where about 5:15, I literally found some sort of energy to walk into the bedroom, and I thought, you know what, I just need to lay down, like my back is giving me hell. So I laid on the bed, and as soon as my head hit the pillow, my waters went. So I screamed. I was like, Dad, my waters have gone, like, get up. So I've gone stood in the shower, and I've stripped off completely. And he's like, oh my God, this is awful. He was like, right, get out of the bath. I was like, I can't stop dripping, it's ridiculous. So I stood in the bath for about 20 minutes, and I said, Dan, I need to go to the hospital now, like I really think I need to go. But when we went up earlier on in that evening, so about 2 o'clock, she said, if you come back in about 6 o'clock, you'll be about 5 centimetres. So Dan had that in his head. So this was about 5:15 in the morning. So he said, no, let's wait until 6 o'clock, and we'll leave here at 6, Cassie. And oh my God, don't get me wrong, I said to him when I was pregnant, do not let me go up to hospital until I literally physically scream at you and say, now, we need to go now. So I was all right, and I thought, you know what, the last thing I want is to go back up there again and them to send me home. And I just wanted to stay at home for as long as I possibly could, because I know how deflated I was. I was so upset when they sent me home at 2 o'clock. So come 5:30, I said, Dan, get changed, like we need to go. No, let's wait until 6 o'clock, Dr. Dan. So I was like, right, okay, but I'm literally in agony. So it got to about 5:45, and he said, right, I'm all ready, let's make our way downstairs so that we can grab our bags and we'll go. But as I walked past the kitchen, I saw that we had left 4 dirty mugs on the side. So obviously I knew that we were going to have visitors the next day. So Dan's gone out to the car to put our bags in the car, and I'm stacking the dishwasher because I knew we were going to have visitors. So he's come back in and gone, what the bloody hell are you doing? Get in the car. And I'm like, yeah, but we're going to have visitors tomorrow. I need clean mugs. Left all the bags in the car. The hospital bags that I'd pre-packed, we had like 3-4 hospital bags full of snacks, full of all of our clothes, my birth nightie that I wanted to wear. So that all stayed in the car. I said, right, I'll get you indoors and then I'll move the car, I'll get the bags out, etc, etc. Went down the lift, got in there, and the same lady who I saw at 2 o'clock, she said, right, let's see if you're 5 centimetres. I was 8. I was 8 centimetres, and she said, well done. Right, let's get you onto your, what are they called, birth and suite, and then you can have some gas and air. And I said to Dan the whole way through, do not let me have the epidural. And don't get me wrong, I think my mum had the epidural, friends of mine had the epidural, but just once I really wanted to experience it. I wanted to, it sounds really quite messed up if I'm honest with you, I wanted to feel him come out. I didn't know what I was having, and I just wanted that full natural birth experience that so many people unfortunately can't have. And so I got in there and I just leant on the bed. I couldn't even sit down. Like, she kept saying, like, let's get you on the bed. And Dan only told me the other day, he said, Cassie, you were there for about an hour. It felt 10 minutes. And I didn't hear anyone. People were talking to me, and I think I was so zoned out and I was concentrating so much on my contractions, I didn't speak to anybody. I didn't do anything. So eventually, about after an hour, they did eventually, the midwife and Dan picked me up and laid me on the bed, sat up obviously. And in between my contractions, it was about 7 o'clock in the morning now, so I must have been there for about an hour. And I said to the midwife, I think I need to push, like I really do. She said, well, you're about 9.5 centimetres, so you have got a half a centimetre to a centimetre left. But if you feel that you need to push, then push. I would push him out 10,000 times before I had another contraction. And contractions, I think I didn't really build myself up as much as what I thought I was going to with childbirth. I knew it was going to hurt. and I knew that it was going to be really tough, but so rewarding at the end. And even like they say the burning ring of fire, like I would have that 20 times, 30 times before I had another contraction. So I would much rather push a baby out than have the contractions. So come 7:30, I said, I think I really need to push. And an hour and a half later, so 1 minute to 9 in the morning, he was born. After, yeah, I think it must have been about an hour and a half, 2 hours pushing. And I kept falling asleep in between my contractions because I was absolutely shattered. So when the contractions come, that would wake me up, and I'd push and fall back to sleep, wake me up, push. And obviously, because we didn't know the gender, I put in my birthing notes, I really want Dan to tell me what we're having or what we've had. Because a friend of mine, she and her husband done it with their little girl, and when she said it to me, I was like, that's so lovely to do, because you've been waiting all this time to find out if you've had a little baby boy or a baby girl. And I really wanted Dan and I to share that experience together. So when he was born, I didn't have a sheet on me, I didn't have anything on me. So I watched the baby come out and I saw his little winky. And again, to any new mums or pregnant, if you're pregnant, and you're doing your birth plan soon, don't set your heart on it too much. I mean, I put in there and just said I wanted them to tell me when to stop taking the gas now, which they did, to not give me the epidural unless I'm absolutely, like they physically think that I need it. And obviously I wanted Dan to tell me what we had, but that didn't happen. So don't set your heart on the birth plan. That's one massive thing, because let it be. And I mean, I really wanted to find out the gender, and like Dan said, you don't get many surprises in this world anymore. So we decided not to find out. Just personally, we didn't want to know the gender. But that's my birth story, and we were blessed with a gorgeous little boy at 1 minute to 9. He weighed 7.8 £, and I said to Dan the whole way through our pregnancy, if it's a baby boy, you can name him, and if it's a baby girl, I really would love to name her. And so when they said we need to deliver your placenta now, obviously I passed Oaklee to Dan, and I said, what are you going to call him? And we had Max for a little boy the entire way through our pregnancy. And 2 weeks, on our honeymoon, we walked past the Oaklee sunglasses shop. And I said, I really like that name for a little boy, Oaklee. And he went, yeah, but I don't like it with a Y, I'd have it double E. So that was on our honeymoon, so nearly 2 years ago. Well, was it over 2 years ago? Is it how long ago? It must be nearly 2 years ago, honeymoon. Well, yeah, but it was our 2-year anniversary in June. So nearly 2 years ago. And about 2 weeks before I gave birth, I said, I really do still like Oaklee, Dan. And he went, yeah, but I definitely want a Max if it's a boy. So anyway, I passed him to Dan. I said, what are you going to call him? He said, after what I've just watched you go through, you can name him. So I was like, I really want to call him Oaklee, because he was way too cute. He didn't look like a Max. And I think like you've got to look like your name. And I think because we said Max the entire way through, I sort of went off it a bit. And it's called Oaklee Paul Lewis, and he's absolutely gorgeous. He's just an absolute dream. And I would go through every single contraction, every single pain, ache, everything again, the whole pregnancy throughout the summer, which was really tough at times, especially working as a hairdresser as well. But it was just amazing, and I can't wait for number 2. And some people were like, no, never again. I want a tribe, and if they're anything like Oaklee, I'll be a very lucky lady. So I would do it all over again. And some people are put off, but it just made me want more children. As soon as he was born, I just said to Dan, I can't wait to do it all over again. And he's like, really? You've literally just gone through like the most traumatic thing you probably ever will. And I'll do it all over again. But it was really lovely. And to come home and show him to all of our families and introduce him to everybody, it was just a memory that will last forever. And it sounds really depressing and sounds really negative, but I hope that when I'm really old with my thousands of children, and it's my time to go. I hope that I get little flashbacks when I go, and that'll be one of the biggest moments for me. So giving birth to our little boy. God, I've got all emotional now. It's just reliving it all again, isn't it? Like, I don't know if you guys are the same, but childbirth was just an absolute dream for me, and I've always wanted to be a mum, and now I am to the most precious little boy. It's just a dream come true. But I'm so sorry for getting a bit emotional, but that is my birth story. So I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I haven't put you off too much if you are expecting really soon. God, I can't stop crying. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed listening to my birth story. I recently put up our Disneyland Paris vlog, so if you go give that a little check out, and if you like these sorts of videos, please remember to give me a big thumbs up and like and subscribe to my channel, because I absolutely love to have you on here, and I love you all. I think you're all my lovely YouTube friends, my Instagram friends, and I think it's just so lovely to have us all together, mums, friends, fantastic, and I admire you all so much. So please remember to like and subscribe, guys. Take care, and I'll see you all soon.